Hey everyone, welcome to Homeschool. Hope everybody are doing good. Hope everybody are safe and healthy. And as I promised in the previous video, I am going to do the mind maps sessions on all the science chapters. Say initially I am starting with the most important chapter of biology, that is life processes. So in the life processes chapter, we know nutrition is deleted and respiration is deleted. So I will do a mind map of transportation and excretion for you. Okay, so let us start and let us learn the chapter in a flowchart format or in a diagrammatic format. Clear? So here I am starting a mind map which helps you to revise quickly, okay, on the chapter life processes, isn't it? So this is our main chapter. So in this main chapter, we mainly study only two topics for this year, that is transportation. Transportation. First, you observe how I will do the mind map, and later you can practice yourself so that you can revise yourself, right? And the other topic is excretion, right? So these are the two topics retained for 2021 examination. And coming to the transportation, so in transportation, you are again studying, the transportation in animals, right? So you will study transportation. I'm writing in a shortcut way, transportation in humans or animals, I can say humans. And you will study transportation in plants. So two main topics you will study in transportation, that is transportation in humans and transportation in plants, right? So both the topics we have to discuss in detail. And coming to the transportation in humans, okay, so you will talk about the double circulation here. Okay, so transportation in humans is called as double circulation. The type of circulation is called double circulation. The word double circulation is very, very important here, because double circulation is what you will observe in birds and mammals. Okay, so what do you mean by this double circulation? It is the circulation where the blood passes twice through the heart. Okay, so two times the blood flows through the heart. That's why this circulation is called double circulation. Clear? So the word of double circulation is very important. So transportation in humans is a type of double circulation. Clear? And now what we study as a part of double circulation is various parts. Okay, various parts, or I can say various tissues involved in double circulation. And the other important thing is you will also study the path of double circulation. Okay, so how actually the blood flows through the heart two times, that path is important, and also the various parts or tissues that involved in double circulation is also important. So can you tell me what are the different parts that are involved in double circulation? See, the first one is you must know about the heart. Okay, so heart is the major organ that is involved in circulatory system. So here you must know how to draw the diagram of heart and what are the major parts that is there in the heart. Left atrium, right atrium, left ventricle, right ventricle, pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, aorta, vena cava, right? So these are the various parts involved in heart, and each and every part's importance, what happens in that part. So what happens in left atrium, what happens in left ventricle, what happens with the help of aorta, what happens with vena cava, and what is the work of pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, everything you must understand clearly. Okay, so about the heart you must know, and also about the blood. What are the major functions of blood, right? What are the different cells present in a blood? Can you tell me what are the different cells present in a blood? WBC, white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets. So what is the work of red blood cells? It will transport oxygen, right? So oxygen will combine with hemoglobin, and that way oxygen gets transported to all the body parts. And what is the work of white blood cells here? They will fight against infection. White blood cells are a part of immune system, isn't it? And the platelets, what is the function of platelets? Platelets help in blood clotting process. So the components of blood and their functions is very, very important, and that can be asked as a question in the board examination. Okay, so about the blood completely you must know. And the other tissue in the circulatory system is the blood vessels. So you must know about the blood vessels. So what are the two types of blood vessels here? Veins and arteries. Okay, so the difference between the veins and arteries is the very, very, very important question that you have to concentrate. Okay, so veins actually carry deoxygenated blood. Arteries carry oxygenated blood. Veins will have so-called valves. Arteries do not have valves. Okay, so why veins have valves? Okay, why do they have valves? What is the use of having valve in a vein? It is because to avoid backflow of the blood. Okay, so and arteries do not have valves. It is due to in arteries basically the blood flows with high pressure, so backflow of the blood will never takes place, so there is no necessity for the valves in arteries, right? So this way the difference between veins and arteries is very, very important questions. So about the blood vessels you know. And last but very, very important, you should know about the liquid called lymph. Okay, so here the definition of lymph is important, and the functions and importance of lymph is important, so don't neglect about lymph. You must know detailed things about each and every tissue or part that is involved in double circulation. Okay, so that is about heart, blood vessels, and lymph. Not just the definitions, you must know their importance, and you must know their deeper aspects also. Okay, fine. And say in the double circulation you must know first thing is about what are the different tissues involved, and later what is the path of double circulation. Okay, so there is a path how blood flows through the heart, that too twice, is what you must know. Okay, so now here I will show you the path actually from the lungs, right? From the lungs the blood will pass through heart. Okay, let me put the symbol of heart here. Okay, so this way let me put it just to make you get some interest. Okay, so this is our heart, and this is left atrium, right? And this is left ventricle. I'm writing it in a short form. This is right atrium, and this is our right ventricle. Okay, so this is heart, and from the lungs actually the oxygenated blood will go to left atrium. Okay, so here pulmonary vein comes into picture. Okay, so your pulmonary vein is actually bringing oxygenated blood. It is bringing oxygenated blood. Clear? So pulmonary vein is bringing oxygenated blood, and this oxygenated blood is will flow from left atrium to left ventricle, and from left ventricle to the body parts. The oxygenated blood is carried by the biggest artery called aorta. Okay, so aorta is carrying oxygenated blood to all body parts through a largest artery called aorta. Okay, again, see, the oxygenated blood is used in all body parts for the respiration purpose, and the byproducts gets generated in all the body parts in every cell is the carbon dioxide, right? That is the impure blood, that is, I can say, the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so the deoxygenated blood flows from all body parts to left atrium. Okay, so all the deoxygenated blood, so here what type of blood it is? It is deoxygenated blood. Okay, deoxygenated blood. So this deoxygenated blood is carried by vena cava. It is carried by vena cava and it is carried to right atrium. And again from right atrium, the blood is moving to right ventricle. Again from right ventricle, the blood carried by an artery called pulmonary artery, and the deoxygenated blood is going back to lungs. Okay, so this deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to lungs is carried by the artery called pulmonary artery. Okay, so this is the path that you must know carefully. Okay, so the oxygenated blood is carried from lungs to left atrium of the heart by the vein called pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood. Remaining all normal veins carry deoxygenated blood. Remember this. And later this oxygenated blood will go to the left ventricle. From left ventricle it is dispatched to all body parts through a tissue called aorta. Okay, and now the deoxygenated blood gets collected from all body parts and it will reach to our right atrium. Okay, by a set of veins called vena cava. Okay, so from right atrium the impure blood is going to the right ventricle. From right ventricle it is carried back to lungs. So in the lungs carbon dioxide is released, and this impure blood, that is deoxygenated blood, carried by heart to lungs is by pulmonary artery. So all arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. So our pulmonary artery always carries deoxygenated blood. Clear? So this is the path that you have to remember in case of double circulation. Okay, so transportation in humans is called as double circulation. In double circulation, you must concentrate two things. One is the parts involved in double circulation. The other one is path, like how actually the blood is passing through heart. Okay, so this is the detailed concepts of transportation in humans. Okay, and now coming to the transportation in plants. Coming to the transportation in plants. Okay, so here you will study two things. One is transportation of water. Okay, the other one is transportation of food. Okay, so transportation of food is also called with the term translocation. You will call it as translocation. See, these things they will ask you directly for 2 marks. They'll ask you how transportation of water takes place in plants, how translocation of food takes place in plants. You know, you have to be very, very careful. Okay, so actually here you will study, usually the water is carried by a tissue called xylem, and here the food is carried by a tissue called phloem. Okay, so you must know about xylem and phloem. And here, in case of transportation of water, you will study one more important word called, transpiration. This transpiration word's meaning is very, very important to understand. What do you mean by transpiration? loss of water vapor from leaves, okay, is called transpiration. So transpiration also helps for pulling water from roots to all body parts. Okay, so that's why transpiration has lot of importance. Try to understand the meaning of transpiration also. Okay, so that's all about transportation in plants. So two things, you will study transportation of water, that is through xylem tissue. You will also study transportation of food, which we call it as translocation, and that is through phloem. Okay, so this is all about the process transportation. Okay, and now we will study the process of excretion. Okay, so excretion also, there are two main topics you will study. One is excretion in humans, excretion in humans, that is excretory system. You will study something called excretory system, and you will also study excretion in plants, excretion in plants. So you will study various excretory products here. Okay, so coming to the major topic of excretion, that is excretion in humans. So what you will study in excretion in humans, one is the various parts involved. Okay, so various parts involved you will study. Okay, can you tell me what are the different parts involved in excretion? So the major part involved is kidneys. Okay, so you will study about kidneys, and the another part involved is ureters. Okay, so ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. Okay, so in kidney, which is the main structural and functional unit, that is nephron. And the structure of nephron is very, very, very important. So you must understand what happens in nephron. So nephron has various parts like glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, and then tubular part as well as collecting tube. And you must know in which part what actually happens. Okay, so that means in the excretion of humans, you will study the formation of urine. You will also study the formation of urine. So where does the urine form? Urine formed in the small units present in a kidney is called nephrons. Urine formation takes place in nephron. Okay, so there are three steps involved in urine formation. First one is ultrafiltration. Okay, so in the glomerulus, whatever impurities, nitrogenous waste is there in the blood, everything will be absorbed by glomerulus. Through the glomerulus, all the nitrogenous waste will come out and they will get collected in Bowman's capsule. And from the Bowman's capsule, they will go to the tubular part. Right, in the tubular part, again whatever the nutrients, essential amino acids, carbohydrates present in the urine, everything gets absorbed. Okay, after that the waste urine gets collected in a collecting tube. Right, so there are three steps. One is ultrafiltration or glomerular filtration we say. The second one is reabsorption, tubular reabsorption. I mean in the urine, by any chance if any carbohydrates or amino acids have come, they gets reabsorbed in the tubular part, and finally the waste urine gets collected in the collecting tube. Okay, so that is secretion, collection. Okay, so these are the three steps you have to study in the urine formation. Clear? So that is all about excretion in humans. So major important thing is the structure of nephron is important, and how urine is formed in nephron is important. Okay, and after that, coming to excretion in plants, nothing much to discuss about excretion in plants. Here in the plants, the nitrogenous waste, whatever the waste materials are there in the plant, everything will come out in the form of gums, resins, right? Gums and resins from the bark. right? So here they'll ask you what are the excretory products you will observe in the plants. So you have to list the 4 points at least. These 4 points, I have discussed in many videos. I have discussed in the videos of life processes. See, here each and every concept that I mentioned on a board is covered in a detailed way in the videos of life processes. If you want to watch them, just you have to go to the playlist of life process, watch transportation videos and excretion videos for complete clarity. Okay, so now you have seen how I have drawn the mind map, right? And now you can close your eyes and slowly try to revise everything and do your own mind map in the book, so that you get 100% perfection in the chapter. Say anywhere, whichever the heading I mentioned, anywhere if you are not having clarity, 100% clarity, so study that particular concept. Okay, so once again I will quickly revise the thing. Say in the transportation you will study two things. One is transportation in humans, the other one is transportation in plants. Transportation in humans is called as double circulation. So here you need to concentrate the various parts involved in double circulation, that is about heart, blood vessels and lymph. Detailed aspects you have to study about them. And later you must know the path, how actually the blood is moving. So this is the path. Usually from the lungs, oxygenated blood is carried by pulmonary vein. It will reach to left atrium. From left atrium it will reach to left ventricle. From there through aorta it will go to all body parts. And from the body parts, the waste blood is collected by vena cava. It will go to right atrium to right ventricle, and then from the right ventricle, through pulmonary artery, it will go back to the lungs. Path is very, very important, right? And now coming to the transportation in plants, you have transportation of water, we call it as through xylem. Transportation of food is called as translocation. It is done through phloem, and the process they may ask you for 2 marks, how water is transported and how food is transported. So for 2 marks when they ask, you must able to write at least 4 points. So learn both of them. Okay, so this is all about the transportation. And now coming to the excretion, again here you study two main headings, excretion in humans and excretion in plants. In excretion in humans, you will study the various parts. This is your excretory system parts, okay, kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. And majorly you will study about kidneys. Kidneys have a small functional units called nephrons. Structure of nephron is very important. You must know the importance of every part of nephron, and in the nephron formation of urine takes place, and there are 3 steps involved in the urine formation: ultrafiltration, reabsorption and collection. Okay, so all of them you must know. And coming to the excretion in plants, they'll ask you what are the excretory products obtained by plants. So 4 points you have to mention. Okay, so this is our major concept of life processes, right? So with this, I am ending this session, and we'll meet up in the next session where I am doing the mind map of a chemistry chapter, that is metals and non-metals. Very, very, very important chapter. Clear? So do subscribe our channel, share the information with your friends so that let everybody get maximum benefit, and subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in a easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much and all the best.